Radha Govinda Jo Ki
Jai.
Nitya Lila Vishnu Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravrajacharya Astatara Sata Shri Shimadesi Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada Ki
Jai.
Nitya Lila Vishnu Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Paravrajacharya Astatara Sata Shri Shimad Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj Srila Gurudev Ki
Jai.
Nitya Lila Vishnu Om Vishnupad Astatara Sata Shri Shimad Srila Bhakti Vigyan Bharati Maharaj Ki Jalila Bhivishtom Vishnupada Statera Sata Shri Shrimad Srila Bhakti Swarup Damodar Maharaj Ki Jalila Bhivishtom Vishnupada Statera Sata Shri Shrimad Srila Gaura Govinda Maharaj Ki Jalila Bhivishtom Vishnupada Statera Sata Shri Shrimad Srila Bhakti Vedanta Vaman Maharaj Ki Jalila Bhivishtom Vishnupada Statera Sata Shri Shrimad Srila Bhakti Bhaiva Puri Maharaj Ki Jalila Bhivishtom Vishnupada Statera Sata Shri Srila Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj Ki Jalila Bhivishtom Vishnupada Statera Sata Shri Shrimad Srila Bhakti Rakshak Siddharte Goswami Maharaj Ki Jalila Bhivishtom Vishnupada Statera Sata Shri Shrimad Srila Bhakti Pragyan Keshava Goswami Maharaj Ki Jalila Bhivishtom Vishnupada Paramahansa Paravrajacharya Astatera Sata Shri Shrimad Param Gurudev Jagat Guru Srila Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Prabhupada Ki Maha Bhagavat Srila Gaura Kishore Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Sabda Goswami Satchid Ananda Srila Bhakti Vinod Thakur Ki Vaishnava Sarvabhaum Srila Jagannath Das Babaji Maharaj Ki Shri Gaudiya Vedanta Acharya Srila Baladev Dibhushan Prabhu Ki Shri Rasika Acharya Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur Ki Srinivas Shamananda Prabhu Trai Ki Shri Krishna's Kaviraj Goswami Prabhu Ki Shri Rupa Shri Sanatan Bhatta Raghunath Shri Jiva Gopala Bhatta Das Raghunath Shad Goswami Prabhu Ki Shri Srup Damodar Rai Ramananda Shri Gaura Parashad Vrinda Ki Namacharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Prem Sako Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shri Vasari Gaura Bhaktivinoda Ki Shri Navadvipantar Dvip Mayapur Dham Ki Ganga Devi Ki Shri Harinam Sankirtan Ki Bhakti Devi Ki Shri Shri Radha Krishna Gopa Gopina Shamakunda Radha Kunda Giri Govardhan Ki Shri Vrindavan Dham Ki Shri Devi Ki Shrimati Purnamasi Yoga Maya Ki Shrimati Tulosi Maharani Vrinda Devi Ki Gopi Shwara Mahadev Ki Nivraj Dham Ki Madhavachiti Bhakti Janani Akadashi Brat Ki Gita Jayanti Ki Jagannatha Baladev Subhadra Devi Sudasan Chakra Purushottam Dham Tota Gopinath Ki Narasingha Bhagavan Ki Bhakti Pravara Prahlad Maharaj Ki Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Samagata Bhakta Vrinda Ki Gaura
Premanande Hari Hari Bol Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Jutaha Padakamalam Shri Guru Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathan Vitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakanitamscha Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamini Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prachadane Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarane Namo Vishnupadaya Radhikaya Priyatmane Shri Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Narayaniti Namane Shri Krishna Leela Katane Sudaksham Audaurya Madhurya Gunaishta Yuktam Varam Varenyam Purusham Mahantam Narayanam Tam Shirishana Tridandinam Bhakta Shiromanim Cha Shri Krishna Padabja Dritaika Hridi Chaitanya Lilamrita Sarasaram Narayanam Tam Satatam Bhavadi Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prishtaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswaminiti Namane Namo Vishnu Padaya Acharya Singha Rupane Shri Srimad Bhakti Pragyana Keshava iti Namane Ati Martya Charitraya Svasrita Nanchapalane Jiva Dukke Sadartaya Shri Nama Prema Dayane Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Pristaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Tinam Shivarsavana Videvi Dayataya Kripabdaye Krishna Sambandha Vijnana Dayane Prabhave Namaha Madhurya Ujjvala Premadhya Shri Rupanuga Bhaktida Shri Gaura Karuna Shakti Vigrahaya Namostute Namaste Gauravani Shri Murtai Dinatarine Rupanuga Viruddhapa Siddhanta Dvantaharane Namo Gaura Kishoraya Sakshat Vairagya Murtai Vipralambhara Sambodhe Padambujayate Namaha Namo Bhakti Vinodaya Sachid Ananda Namane Gaura Shakti Swarupaya Rupanuga Varayate Gaura Virbhava Bhumestvam Nirdishta Sajjana Priya Sarvabhauma Shri Jagannataya Te Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Bhavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Namo Mahabhajanyaya Krishna Prema Pradayate Krishnaya Krishna Chaitanya Namane Gaura Trishe Namaha Nityanandam Namastubhyam Premananda Pradayane Kalo Kalamashanashaya Janava Pataye Namaha Panchatattvatmakam Krishnam Bhakta Rupa Swarupakam Bhaktavataram Bhaktakyam Namami Bhakta Shaktikam Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Jayatam Suruto Pangor Mama Manda Matergati Matsarvasva Padambojo Radha Madana Mohano Divyat Vrindaranya Kalpadrumadha Srimad Ratnagara Singhasanasto Srimad Radha Srila Govinda Devo Prestadabhi Sevyamano Smarami Shriman Rasarasarambi Vamshiva Tata Tatstitaha Karshana Venu Swanayar Gopir Gopinata Shri Estunaha Bhaktya Vihina Aparadha Lakshay Kshiptascha Kamadi Taranga Madhye Kripa Maitvam Sharanam Prapanna Brinde Numaste Charanara Vindam Brindai Tulsi Devyai Priyai Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavachai Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare Jai Shri Krishna Bhagavan Ki Jai Shri Gita Jayanti Ki Jai Shri Krishna Bhagavan speaking Bhagavad Gita Ki Jai Shri Mokshada Ekadasi Ki Jai Madhavatiti Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnav Vrinda Ki Jai Samagata Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Nitai Gaur Premanande let's see. We sang Gurvastakam, then we sang Shri Guru Charana Padma. So maybe another Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya. Okay. Everyone who can play kartals, please take kartals and add to the kirtan. Thank you very much. Can you give one to Popadevji? Oh, he's coming. He's the best player of all. So we're going to sing Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya. So if you want to go to the song on your phones, go to Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya. Okay. Oh, give him the microphone.
Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Koro Edase Trinapekayati Hena Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Koro Edase Trinapekayati Sakala sahane bala diya karo nijamane spriha hina
Sakale sahane bala diya karo nijamane spriha hina
Gurudev kripa bindu diya koro etase trinapekayati hena
Gurudev Kripa Bindu Diya Koro Edase Trinapekayati hena
Sakale saman korite shakati dehonata jatha jata
Sakale saman korite shakati dehonata jata jata
tabe to gai বুকে অপরাধ হবে হতা
তবে তো গাইব হরি নাম সুখে অপরাধ হবে হতা।
গুরুদেব কৃপা বিন্দু দিয়া করো এ দাসে তৃণাপেক্ষায়তি হীনা
গুরুদেব কৃপা বিন্দু দিয়া হে দাসে
কবে হেন কৃপাল ভিয়ায় জন কৃতার্থ হইবে নাত কবে
নো কৃপা লভিয়ায় জন কৃতার্থ হইবে নাত।
শক্তি বুদ্ধিহীন আমি অতি দিন করো মোরে আত্মা সাত
শক্তি বুদ্ধি আমি অতি দিন করো মোরে আত্মা সাতা।
শক্তি বুদ্ধিহীন আমি অতি দিন
শক্তি বুদ্ধি আমি অতি দিন
করো মোরে আত্মা সাত
করো মোরে আত্মা সাতা।
গুরুদেব কৃপা বিন্দু দিয়া করো এ দাসে তৃণাপেক্ষায়তি হীনা গুরুদেব
কৃপা বিন্দু দিয়া করো এ দাসে তৃণাপেক্ষায়তি হীনা।
জগতা বিচারে কিছু নাহি পায় তোমার করুণা সার
যোগ্যত্য বিচারে কিছু নাহি পায় তোমার করুণা
গুরুদেব
সার।
তোমার করুণা
গুরুদেব
সার
করুণা করুণা
করুণা না হইলে কান্দিয়া কান্দিয়া করুণা
কাঁদিয়া কাঁদিয়া
গুরুদেব করুণা না হইলে কান্দিয়া কান্দিয়া
করুণা না হইলে কাঁদিয়া কাঁদিয়া
প্রাণ না রাখিব আর
প্রাণ না রাখিব আর
গুরুদেব কৃপা বিন্দু দিয়া করো এ দাসে তৃণাপেক্ষায়তি হীনা
গুরুদেব কৃপা বিন্দু দিয়া করো এ দাসে তৃণাপেক্ষায়তি হীনা।
জয় গুরুদেবা জয় গুরুদেবা গুরুদেবা জয় গুরুদেবা জয় গুরুদেবা
গুরুদেবা
গুরুদেবা জয় প্রভু পারা প্রভু পারা প্রভু পারা জয় প্রভু পারা
জয় প্রভু পাদ প্রভু পাদ প্রভু পাদ জয় প্রভু পাদ
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Gaur Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nityananda Gauranga song?
Sure.
Yeah, you?
Okay.
As you like, Nityananda Gauranga song.
Parama Karuna.
Okay. Good. Parama Karuna, Bahudvijana Nitai Gaura Chandra. You can read the translation before we sing it. The two lords, Nitai and Gaura Chandra, they are supremely merciful. Did you know that? They, Nitai and Gaur Chandra, are the essence, and they are the crown jewels of all avatars. And they are the source of absolute bliss, Kevala Ananda Kanda. O brother, worship Chaitanya Nitai with unwavering faith, renouncing material enjoyment and drowning yourself in that rasa of worshipping them. Let your lips chant Hari Hari. Everyone say Hari Hari.
Hari Hari.
Dekore bai tribhuvane nai emona doyala data. Just see, dear brother. In all the three worlds, no one bestows mercy like they do. There's no one else in all the three worlds that bestows mercy like they do. How do we know? Because even animals and birds shed tears and stones melt upon hearing the narrations of their glories. Samsari majia rohili poriya sepade nahilo asha. But Lochan Das says, since you remain submerged in material enjoyment, the aspiration to take shelter of their lotus feet has not arisen, and thus you suffer the consequences of your own misdeeds as meted out by Lord Yama. Ain't got no one to blame but yourself. Okay.
O Parama Karuna Paho Dui Jana Nitai Gaura Chandra
Parama Karuna Paho Dui Jana Nitai Gaura Chandra.
Sabay avatar Sara Shiromane
Sabay avatar Sara Shiromane
Kevalayananda Kanda
Kevalayananda Kanda.
Bhajo Bhajo Bhai Chaitanya Netai Sudrida Vishwasa Kori.
ভজ ভজ ভাই চৈতন্য নিতাই সুদৃঢ় বিশ্বাস করে
অবিষয় ছাড়িয়া সে রসে মাজিয়া
বিষয় চরিয়া সে রসে মজিয়া
মুখে বলো হরি হরি
মুখে বলো হরি হরি
দেখো রে ভাই ত্রিভুবনে না এমন দয়াল দাতা
দেখো রে ভাই চৈতন্য নিতাই এমন দয়াল দাতা
ও পশু পাখি ঝরে পাষাণ বেদরে
পশু পাখি ঝুরে পাষাণ বিদারে
শুনি যার গুণ গাথা
ও শুনি যারা গুণ কথা
সংসারে মজিয়া রহিলি পড়িয়া সে পদে নাহিল আশা
সংসারে মজিয়া রহিলি পরিয়া সে পদে নাহিল আশা
আপন করম ভুঞ্জায় সমন
আপন কর্ম গুঞ্জয় সমন
কহলো চান দাস
ও কহলো চন দাস
পরম করুণা বহু দুই জানিতাই গোরা চন্দ্র
ও পরম করুণ বহু দ্বিজন নিতাই গৌর চন্দ্র
সবয়বতায় সার শিরোমণি
সবয়বতার সরশিরোমণি
কেবলয়ানন্দ কান্দ
কেবলানন্দ কান্দ
নিতাই গৌরচন্দ্র
নিতাই গৌরচন্দ্র
জয় নিতাই জয় গো জয় নিতাই জয় গো জয়
নিতাই জয় গো জয় নিতাই জয় গো
নিতাই হে গৌর হে নিতাই হে গৌর হে
নিতাই হে গৌর হে নিতাই হে গৌর হে So Radha Krishna and then we'll start song, maybe the standard.
জয় রাধা মারবা
Okay, yeah.
ওকে
Huh? I'll sing. Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya Kunj Bihari
জয় রাধা মাধব জয় কুঞ্জ বিহারী
Jaya Radha Madhava Jaya কুঞ্জ বিহারী
জয় রাধা মাধব জয় কুঞ্জ বিহারী
জয় গোপী জন পল্লভ জয় গিরিবরদরি জয় গিরিবরদরি
জয় গোপী জন বল্লভ জয় গিরিবরধরি জয় গিরিবরধরি
জয় যশোদনন্দন জয় ব্রজ জনরঞ্জন জয় ব্রজ জনরঞ্জন
জয় সুরনন্দন জয় ব্রজ জনরঞ্জন জয় ব্রজ জনরঞ্জন
জয় যমুনা তীরবনচারী জয় কুঞ্জ বিহারী
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 জয় রাধা মাধব 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 জয় কুঞ্জ বিহারী
জয় গোপী জন পল্লভ জয় গিরিবরধারী জয় গিরিবরধারী
জয় গোপী জন বল্লভ জয় গিরিবরধারী জয় গিরিবরধারী
জয় যশোদানন্দন জয় ব্রজ জনরঞ্জন জয় ব্রজ জনরঞ্জন জয়
যশোদানন্দন জয় ব্রজ জনরঞ্জন জয় ব্রজ জনরঞ্জন
জয় যমুনা তীরবনচারী জয় কুঞ্জ বিহারী জয়
যমুনা তীরবনচারী জয় কুঞ্জ বিহারী
জয় যমুনা তীরবনচারী জয় রাস বিহারী
জয় যমুনা তীরবনচারী জয় রাস বিহারী
জয় রাধা মাধব জয় কুঞ্জ বিহারী
জয় রাধা মাধব জয় কুঞ্জ বিহারী
হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে
কৃষ্ণ হরে কৃষ্ণ 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 হরে হরে
হরে রাম Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Krishna
Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare
Oh Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Oh Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Oh Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Oh Hare Rama 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 Hare Hare
Hare Ram Hare Hare
Ram Hare Hare
Ram Hare Hare
Krishna Hare Hare
Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare
Oh
Hare
Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare
Hare Ram Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare
Hare Ram Hare Rama Hare Hare
Hare Ram Hare
Oh Hari Bol
Hare Hare
Hari Bol
Hare Bol
Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol
Hari Bol
Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol
Hari Bol Hari Bol
Hari Bol Hari Bol
Hari Bol Hari Bol
Hari Bol Hari Bol
Hari Bol Hari
Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol
Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol
Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol Hari Bol.
Jaya Sachinandan Jaya Gaura Hari. Sachinandan Jaya Gaura Hari.
Sachinandan Gaura Hari. Sachinandan Jai Gaura Hari.
Nitai hai, Nitai hai, Nitai hai, Nitai hai.
Nitai hai, Nitai hai, Nitai hai.
Gaura hai, Gaura hai, Gaura hai, Gaura hai.
Gaura hai, Gaura hai.
Oh, Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Nitai Gaur Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Jaya Jaya Gurudev, 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 Gurudev.
Jai Jai Gurudev, 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 Gurudev.
Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, Prabhupada, Prabhupada,
Jai
Prabhupada.
Jai Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada.
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol,
Nitai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol.
Shri Shri Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Shri Bhagavan Shri Krishna Chandra Ki Jai, Gita Jayanti Ki Jai, Bhagavad Gita Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. So such an ecstatic day. First of all, I'm offering my unlimited Dandavat Pranams, my Shraddha Pushpanjali at the lotus feet of my most worshipable beloved Gurudev Nityalila Pravishta Om Vishnu Pad Paramahansa Ashtotarajata Sri Srila A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Maharaj Srila Prabhupada. Srila Prabhupada gave us Bhagavad Gita. Can we ever thank him enough for giving us Bhagavad Gita as it is? Everything comes from that. All of our ability to follow this process given by Gauranga Mahaprabhu and the disciplic succession, it is resting upon the Bhagavad Gita. All of our ability to understand any of the other innumerable Shastras and Vedic texts, it is resting upon this foundation of Srimad Bhagavad Gita, Gita Upanishad, spoken by the very lotus mouth of who? The Supreme Personality of Godhead. The absolute truth, from whom all existence, all truth, all knowledge comes. So can we ever overestimate the importance of this teaching of Bhagavad Gita? Never. If anyone makes a foolish statement, oh, I don't need to read Bhagavad Gita anymore, I don't have any taste for it anymore, then they are not appropriately honoring Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Because even the Rasik Vaishnavas, who Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, Jiva Goswami, Baladev Vidyabhushan, they relished and tasted Bhagavad Gita, although they are the knowers of infinite transcendental Rasa Shastra knowledge. But Bhagavad Gita has within it some hidden treasures. But the whole purpose that Krishna spoke the Bhagavad Gita is to enable everyone to understand who he is, who they are, what this world is, why we are here. That is the purpose. To give tattva gyan, knowledge of truth. With that tattva gyan, then we can move forward. If we don't have it, we'll be stuck. Tattva gyan. So, transcendental knowledge. Tadvidhi pranipatena. The famous verse that Krishna told in the Gita. You want transcendental knowledge? Only one place to go to get that. Only one. There's not two different places that you can go to get transcendental knowledge. Only one. And who is that? Tattvadarshi. Those who have seen, those who are with their eyes and their transcendental vision, they see the absolute truth at every moment. So, therefore Krishna said, you go to such a person. And what do? You abandon every single shred of self-conceit and self-importance. And you do pranipat. You surrender your life, your pran. You do full surrender first. If you don't do that, you can't get from him what he wants to give you. You have to surrender. There's a prerequisite. You cannot get transcendental knowledge just by sitting in a class, even if there's 10 Rasik Mahabhagavad Vaishnavas speaking. If you don't surrender to them, and in your heart completely submit yourself to them, you can't get it. You will be left out. Doesn't matter what a jnani you are, what a mahayogi you are. No. If you don't surrender to those who know the absolute truth, you can never receive it. So the first thing is surrender. Second thing, what? Pariprashna. It doesn't mean only just asking questions, because prashna means questions. So to put forward questions, like Arjuna did in the Bhagavad Gita, relevant questions at relevant points in the hearing process. But the hearing process itself is pariprashna, because you have a great desire to know this knowledge. So you are inquiring. So that means transcendental shravanam. And then the third prerequisite, sevaya. Without the service mood, without adopting the understanding that I am a servant, I'm not master. Without this, it's impossible to get this transcendental knowledge. If someone starts to think, I am the master, they themselves will be disqualified. We are only servants. We will be servants eternally. Srila Prabhupada Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur told that. I myself am servant. And we are very fortunate to be servants. And we will be servants eternally. So, for the pure Vaishnavas, there is no other designation. They have no other abhiman. Only I am servant of Bhagavan in my specific relationship with him. So most people in this material world, most jivas that are wandering in the 8,400,000 species of life, they're completely unaware. They don't have even a speck of transcendental knowledge. that who am I? Who actually am I? Why am I here? Why is this world here? What's the purpose? All of these kind of questions, the majority of the human society have absolutely no, not even the slightest bit of knowledge about that. Even if they are religionists, so-called. There's a lot of so-called religionists. But even if they are very high-level religionists, but yet they kill animals and eat meat? What? Dalai Lama? What? Then what are they? They're ignorant. They're ignorant fools. So, anyway, I just wanted to say that Srila Prabhupada is the one who gave us this Bhagavad Gita. And if we want to do justice to the hearing of Bhagavad Gita on Gita Jayanti, then we have to pay homage to who gave this to us first. And then we were introduced to other great personalities like Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, who also gave his incredible depth of insight and realization of the Bhagavad Gita and its main purpose. And then we were introduced to personalities who are the embodiment of the essence of the Bhagavad Gita. Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj and many other great personalities, Bhakti Pramod Puri Maharaj, Bhaktivedanta Vaman Maharaj, Bhakti Balabhatirtha Maharaj, Gaur Govinda Maharaj, many great personalities. So, on the Gita Jayanti day, I'm offering my Dandavat Pranams at the lotus feet of especially my two prominent Siksha gurus, Nitya-lila Pravishtom Vishnupad Paramahansa Astatarasata Sri Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Goswami Maharaj, and Nitya-lila Pravishtom Vishnupad Paramahansa Astatarasata Sri Srila Bhakti Vedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj. And to all of my Sri Sri Rupa Nuga Guru Varga, and to all the Vaishnavas and to all the Vaishnavis. So the other class, the other day, we read the purport of Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj on the first of the 4 shlokas. Yes? The first of the Chatur Shloki Bhagavad Gita, which is, what's that verse? What is that verse, the first verse of the 4 verses? What? Yeah, what is it? Okay, everyone all together. Aham sarvasya prabhavo matak sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. So what is the meaning of that verse? I'm reading Srila Sridhar Maharaj's translation of it. So, it's very unique, his translation, because he's saying not exactly what you find in the Sanskrit, but what is hidden in the Sanskrit. And he says, Aham sarvasya prabhavo. So we all know what aham means. And what does it mean? I. I. In Sanskrit, aham means I. So, aham sarvasya prabhavo. So he has explained very beautifully in his purport. But his translation is simply saying, I am Krishna, the sweet absolute, the origin of all. I am Krishna, the sweet absolute, the origin of all. The entire universe of material and of transcendental play, of activity, of purpose, the entire universe of material and transcendental play, activity, purpose, and the Vedas and the allied scriptures which give guidance. They all evolve from me alone. Realizing this hidden treasure, because that's the title of his Bhagavad Gita, Hidden Treasure. So realizing this hidden treasure, persons of fine theistic intelligence, they surpass the mundane and they embrace the path of love divine, Rag Marg. What is the path that they embrace? Rag Marg. Is it Vaidhi Sadhana Bhakti? No. It's Rag Marg. So, these persons, realizing this hidden treasure, these persons of fine theistic intelligence, they surpass the mundane and they embrace the path of love divine, Rag Marg, and they adore me forever. So now, I wanted to just segue over to the Bhagavad Gita as it is, where this verse is translated by Srila Prabhupada. And because Srila Prabhupada is giving a general understanding, right? And he's sticking to that. Baladev Vidyabhushan gave his commentary on the Bhagavad Gita. Srila Prabhupada pays homage to that because he based his commentary upon Baladev Vidyabhushan Prabhu's commentary. It's in the first page, dedicated to Baladev Vidyabhushan. So it's very philosophical. But yet, then in the Bhagavad Gita of Srila Bhaktivedanta Narayan Goswami Maharaj, that Bhagavad Gita is based upon whose commentary? Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur. And there are many, many hidden moods and hidden intentions in the words. Even Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur gives some explanation like Krishna smiled when he said this to Arjuna. Why did he smile? For example, when Arjuna surrendered to Krishna at the beginning of the second chapter, you know that verse? Huh? I can't hear you. Yes. You know the shlok? See, that's the thing. Shishyasteham sadimam tvam prapannam is the last line in that verse. Arjuna is expressing that now I've become very confused about my duty and I've lost all composure because of weakness. In this condition, I don't know what I should do, what is good for me. So now, you please tell me, O Krishna, now I am your disciple. Shishyasteham. I am your disciple. And sadimam tvam prapannam. I am surrendering to you. He doesn't say as guru, but he says, I'm surrendering to you. So then, it describes that Krishna smiled slightly when he began to speak to Arjuna to honor Arjuna's request that he should give him the right understanding. Why did Krishna smile? There they are. Yeah, they're looking. Why did Krishna smile? Huh? The Vaishnavas from the other side of the Ganga have come. Hari Hari Bol! All glories to the Mayapur Vaishnavas. And the new Braj Vaishnavas. Hari Bol. Dandavat pranams. We have to get more sitting things for this room. Do we have? Do we have in the trunk? Okay, we'll bring out. Bring out. There's lots of sitting places here, but as you like.
We don't want to disturb the class.
No, not disturbing. You are enhancing the class. Jai Jai Prabhuji, Dandavat, Haribol Kishore, Govinda Priya, and the little ones. Okay, so why did Krishna smile? Well, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he gave the internal meaning of why Krishna smiled when Arjuna said, "Now I'm your disciple." In a very serious way, Arjuna told him that. But Krishna smiled. Why? Do you know? Because, yes, because they're the most intimate friends. That's their relationship. And now suddenly Arjuna is going to become the disciple, the obedient disciple, right? So Krishna smiled, okay, you want that? And then Krishna began to describe the first words to him. You remember what the first teaching is? That you are lamenting. Arjuna, what is the Sanskrit? Yeah, asocyanand vasochastvam pragyavadamscha bhashase gatasum agatasumscha nanu shochanti pandita. So, what did the guru do? Because guru does what to the disciple? Correct and chastises. Cuts their false ego. So, Krishna said, "Oh, Arjuna, you just spoke so many learned words, pragyavadams, very learned words, Arjuna." The whole first chapter is Arjuna telling about what is Dharma and what should be done and what should not be done, and all the great authorities say such and such. But now you're in this condition, Arjuna, that you're lamenting and you're not even able to function, and your Gandiva bow is slipping from your hand, your body is shaking. Arjuna has described his own condition to Krishna. He says, now I cannot even sit here or stand here anymore. What to do? So then what does Krishna tell to Arjuna? He says, Arjuna, you're lamenting for that which is not worthy of lamentation. What is that? Asocyan anvasochas tvam. But at the same time that you're lamenting, you're doing something quite contradictory. And what is that? Pragyavadamscha bhashase. You're speaking very learned words as if you're a very great pundit. Then he says, those who are actually pundits, who are very wise, very intelligent, very learned, do they ever lament? No. Gatasum agatasumscha nanushochanti pandita. What does gatasun mean? Those who have already gone. Because all of us are going. Are we not? Every single one of us will go. Where will we go? Not here. We won't stay here. We'll go somewhere else, right? So everyone who has already left, who has left their body in the so-called death, Where have they gone? They've gone somewhere else. So they're called Gatasun. And those who haven't yet gone, who are still here, living in this body, they're called Agatasum. So Gatasum, Agatasum's cha, whether they're living or whether they're dead, they've already gone. Nanu Sochanti Pandita. A pundit, a learned person, will never lament. So Krishna he actually chastised Arjuna. That's the first thing. Okay, Arjuna. He smiles. Now I'll become your guru, you'll become my disciple. So Arjuna, guess what? You're a fool. Basically, Krishna's telling Arjuna, you're a fool. Because while you're speaking learned words, you're lamenting. So you're exposing your lack of knowledge. You just exposed yourself. And then what did he tell Arjuna? Arjuna, we all existed forever. None of us have ever not existed. There was never a time. Natvevaham jatu nasam natvam nenme janadipa. There was never a time when I did not exist, Arjuna. There was never a time when you did not exist. And there was never a time when all these warriors, kshatriyas, kings on this battlefield, there was never a time when any of them did not exist. And in the future, there will never be a time when we will stop existing. Who knows that in today's world, the modern world? Practically no one knows this. Practically no one. Or even if they've heard it, they don't live their life according to what they need to do to gain freedom from this cycle of taking birth and dying. So the Bhagavad Gita begins like that. And Arjuna becomes a very submissive disciple to Krishna, and then Krishna begins to teach Arjuna. And first of all, Bhagavad Gita is consisting of how many chapters? 18. And they're divided into 3 different sections. 6 chapters, 6 chapters, and 6 chapters. So, the Bhagavad Gita, the first 6 chapters are called what? Karma Yoga. The middle 6 chapters are called what? Bhakti Yoga. And the last 6 chapters are what? Jnana Yoga. Just like the 11th canto of the Srimad Bhagavatam, after the whole 90 chapters of the 10th canto, and Krishna, and everything is given there. But yet, there's an entire 11th canto where Krishna speaks what? The Uddhava Gita. He speaks, 28? I forget the number. 26 chapters to Uddhava. Yes. And there, Srila Gurudev, he used to say that if you don't read the 11th canto after you read the Srimad Bhagavatam 10th canto, then you will have some difficulty. Why? Because that is the transcendental knowledge that makes you very serious now to apply yourself. Very serious. And by hearing what Krishna gave to Uddhava, now you will be completely equipped to completely dive into this ocean of Bhakti Rasa, of Grantaraj Srimad Bhagavatam. So the middle 6 chapters are actually the main part of the Bhagavad Gita, because there, from the very first beginning of the 7th chapter, Krishna starts to tell who he is. Up to that point, he doesn't say it directly enough. It's like he says it in a somewhat indirect way. Just like when Krishna says, Imam vivasvate yogam proktavana in the 4th chapter. That previously I spoke this knowledge to the sun god Vivasvan. Vivasvan spoke it to his son Ikshvaku, and then Ikshvaku spoke it to Manu. And in this way it came down in the disciplic succession of who? Rajarshis, saintly kings. But in course of time, this knowledge became lost. So, then Arjuna asked the question that, oh Krishna, you and I are like the same age. And how am I to understand that millions of years ago you spoke this to the sun god? And then what did Krishna tell Arjuna? Guess what, Arjuna? Many, many lives, both you and I have passed. Many lives. But what's the difference between you and me is that I can remember all of them and you cannot. So in this way, Krishna starts to tell Arjuna, Arjuna, this is who I am. And all throughout the Karma Yoga section, first 6 chapters, Krishna is describing that, like even in the 6th chapter Ashtanga Yoga, you should make me the goal. But now in the middle 6 chapters, now Krishna is describing who he actually is and how to realize him. That I am the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Does he also prove it? Does he only say that? No, because Arjuna asks Krishna, Krishna, can you show that form in which you actually are the source of everything? And then Krishna says, okay. But why did Arjuna ask him? Arjuna fully understood and fully accepted and fully surrendered to Krishna. But for those persons who don't, and also to, to conquer over persons of ignorance who think that they can imitate Krishna, right? But if you can't show your universal form, sorry, you ain't my God, huh? If you can't show your universal form. So Arjuna requested Krishna. And then Krishna showed the astonishing universal form. Very rare to see. But he said, you cannot see this form with your present eyes. Therefore I'm giving you divine eyes. Divine vision. Then you can see. And so, leading up to that, Krishna's exhibition of the universal form, Krishna is describing in 7th chapter, 8th chapter, 9th chapter, 10th chapter, all of his opulences, who he actually is. But in the very middle of the Bhagavad Gita, the very smack dab middle, what is that? In the 10th chapter, verses 8 through 12. Or wait, 8 through 11, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yeah, 8 through 11. Those are the 4 nutshell verses of the Bhagavad Gita. They're Chatur Shloki Bhagavad Gita, just like we have Chatur Shloki Bhagavatam, so there's also Chatur Shloki Bhagavad Gita. And in these 4 verses, Krishna is now giving the essence. He is giving the full essence in these 4 verses. So what is he giving? What is he telling? Actually, there's very, very deep meaning to what Krishna is expressing in these 4 verses. The initial translation, like we just recited that 8th verse, so Krishna is telling, I am the source of all spiritual and material worlds. Everything emanates from me. The wise who perfectly know this, they engage in my devotional service, and they worship me with all their hearts. So who is Krishna describing? He's describing as pure devotees. But what level of pure devotees? That's the interesting thing that we're going to now hear from Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaja's Bhagavad Gita, Chatushloki, and his purports. We already did the purport in the previous class to the verse 8. But just to give you some idea that at the end of that purport, this is what Srila Sridhar Maharaj is telling. He's telling at the end of that purport The most rare and the most elevated stage of devotion is in the line of spontaneous devotion. What is spontaneous devotion? Rag Marg. That line is known as Rag Marg. So do we know, just from the purport and so forth of the Bhagavad Gita given by Srila Prabhupada, do we know this? No, because he didn't reveal it. Why? Because that is for the beginning level persons. But Srila Sridhar Maharaj has, a miner who mines for gold. They have to dig and they have to do some. So Srila Sridhar Maharaj does that. And he goes deep, 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 with the assistance, of course, of the commentaries of all the great acharyas. So in this verse, the first verse, where Srila Sridhar Maharaj, I've already read the translation of that verse, where he's saying, I am Krishna, I am the sweet absolute, I am the origin of all. So now, to end his explanation, which everyone should read, I'm not going to go over it again because of time. To end this purport, the last paragraph of this purport, Srila Sridhar Maharaj is saying that the most rare and the most elevated stage of devotion is in the line of Rag Marg, spontaneous devotion. And in that line, guided by the qualified guru, an elevated pure devotee may attain service. An elevated pure devotee, in that line, guided by the qualified guru, an elevated pure devotee may attain service to a leader of one of the groups of Krishna's personal associates, who serves the Lord in his pastimes in a relationship of friendship, Sakya Ras, or parental, Vatsalya Ras, or consorthood, Madhur Ras. So in Vrindavan, the Lord is served in spontaneous devotion by his friends, headed by Subal Saka, and by his parental devotees, headed by Nanda Maharaj and Mother Yashoda. The gopis, headed by Lalita and Vishaka, they serve him in consorthood. But amongst all his associates, and amongst all the gopis, the highest order of divine loving service is rendered to the Lord by who? Srimati Radharani. Amongst all his associates and amongst all the gopis, the highest order of divine loving service is rendered to the Lord by Srimati Radharani. So therefore, the acme of Rag Marg, the acme, the highest position in Rag Marg, it is the service of Radharani, because she's at the topmost position of servitude. So what is that called? This acme of Rag Marg? It is called Radhadasyam, service to the lotus feet of Radha. This is the highest objective of the Rupanuga Gaudiya Sampradaya, the followers of pure devotion as taught by Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada in the line of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we will not even find those words in the Bhagavad Gita of Srila Prabhupada. He does not allude to that subject matter of Rag Marg Bhakti. Does he tell about that in the Nectar of Devotion? Yes, of course. But in his Bhagavad Gita, he is sticking purely to Tattva Gyan. But this is Rasa Tattva, which is hidden within the Tattva Gyan of Krishna's words. And it has been mined, this gold of Rasa Tattva has been mined by Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj. He's not the only one. Like Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, we already mentioned, he also mined this gold mine. So now we're going to the next verse. Machchitta madgata prana bodhayantak parasparam katayantas chamam nityam tushyanticha ramanticha. So you can repeat after me. Machchitta Machchitta madgata prana madgata prana bodhayantak bodhayantak parasparam parasparam machchitta madgata prana bodhayantak parasparam katayantash chamam nityam katayantas chamam nityam tushyanti cha ramanti cha machchitta madgata prana bodhayantak parasparam katayantas chamam nityam tushyanticha ramanticha. So here's the translation. Always thinking of me, those surrendered souls converse about me. And they are, in their conversing about me, they are enlightening one another with the nectar of their devotional realizations. That's what the pure devotees do. That's what the Mahabhagavad Vaishnavas do. And as they are doing this, they are ever content and ecstatic in their divine natures. So, here's the commentary of Srila Sridhar Maharaj to reveal the depth of what is really being expressed by Krishna. The Supreme Lord Krishna is speaking about his pure devotees. So this is what the topic is. Krishna is telling to Arjuna, here are my pure devotees. This is how my pure devotees worship me. This is how they become ecstatic in their transcendental service to me. So the Supreme Lord Krishna is speaking about his pure devotees. So he is saying, I am in the heart of their hearts. I am in the heart of my pure devotees' hearts. I am in their every thought. Every thought, I am in it. Their entire energy, their whole life, it is dedicated to my satisfaction. They converse with one another about me, and they experience mutual enlightenment, bodhayantak, enlightening one another. They always love to talk about me with whoever they meet and nothing else. That's what they do. They always love to talk about me with whoever they meet and nothing else. For every time, place, and circumstance, I am the only subject of their discussions. They find very much satisfaction in this, tushyanti cha. They find very much satisfaction in this. So up to the divine relationship of parenthood, there is feeling of satisfaction. Now what about up to that point of parenthood, Vatsalya? Then what about in the consorthood? In that mood, now we will hear. So furthermore, Srila Sridhar goes on, Ramanticha, the words Ramanticha, means just as a wife enjoys a conjugal relationship with her husband, the devotees similarly feel such ecstasy in my intimate company when they're speaking about me. This has been mentioned by the previous acharyas. So that's Srila Sridhar Maharaj's very brief commentary on this verse. That always thinking of me, those surrendered souls converse about me, enlightening one another with the nectar of their devotional realizations, ever content and ecstatic in their divine natures. But now, in the purport to the next verse, now he really carries forward with this, what he's already mentioned here. Okay, so here is the third verse. The third verse of the Chatushloki verses. It starts with Tesham. Anyone know that one? Okay. Jai. Okay, so repeat after me. Tesham satata yuktanam.
Tesham satata yuktanam.
Tesham satata yuktanam.
Tesham satata yuktanam.
Bhajatam priti purvakam.
Bhajatam priti purvakam.
Bhajatam priti purvakam.
Bhajatam priti purvakam.
Dadami buddhi yogam tam.
Dadami buddhi yogam.
Dadami buddhi yogam tam.
Dadami buddhi yogam.
Yena mam upayanti te.
Yena mam upayanti te.
Yena mam upayanti te.
Yena mam upayanti te.
Tesham satata yuktanam.
Tesham satata yuktanam.
Bhajatam priti purvakam.
Bhajatam priti purvakam.
Dadami buddhi yogam tam.
Dadami buddhi yogam tam.
Yena mam upayanti te.
Yena mam upayanti te.
So what's the general meaning of this verse? What is Krishna telling? You remember?
For those who worship me with sincerity, I will give them intelligence by which they can come to me.
Yes, that's general, right? So now Srila Sridhar Maharaj is just giving a brief, not putting the purport into it, because he's going to give it all in the purport. So he says, to those devotees who are always lovingly engaged in my service, then I give the divine inspiration by which they can come to me. So, you're going to see that Srila Sridhar Maharaj is addressing what could be considered to be a redundancy in what Krishna is telling in this verse and in the final fourth verse. He will explain it in the purport. That if we think that Krishna means such and such, then there's a redundancy in what Krishna is telling. Because he's already told in the first two verses what are the nature of these pure devotees, right? And especially in the fourth verse. So now, in his commentary, he's telling, the Lord says, quote, the highest group of my servitors whose devotion was described in the previous verse by the word Ramanti. Ramanticha. Remember what he said about Ramanti? This is the mood of the husband to the wife. This is their mood. So, here he's saying that the highest group, because there's many groups of servitors, And Krishna has already explained it in the previous verse, that the highest of all those groups of his servitors, whose devotion was described in the previous verse by the word ramanti, in all those groups, the highest group are those who are constantly engaged, satata yukta, constantly engaged in my service, in what? In consorthood, in madhur rasa. They're the highest group. And how are they constantly engaged in my service, in consorthood? With heartfelt love. Bhajatam priti purvakam. Heartfelt love. Priti. So then he says that he will give them further inspiration to those devotees in the highest group. He will give them further inspiration or inner instruction by which they can come to him. Yena mam upayanti te. Now, when already in this verse and in the previous verse, the devotee's service to the Lord has been described as eternal. In this verse and in the previous verse, their service has been described as eternal by the words what? Nityam and satata yukta. That means constantly, permanently, forever. But now, the statement that he will give them further inspiration by which they can come to him, it may appear to be redundant. Therefore, in the expression, mam upayanti te, they will come to me, in that word, upayanti, the word upayanti must be defined as what? Parakiya bhavena upapati. All right? I told you that last night. Here it is. Upayanti, what is the deep meaning that Krishna is really trying to indicate there? Oh. Yes, coming. Hare Krishna. Yes, coming. No other way, sorry. Okay, so in that word, upayanti, here Srila Sridhar Maharaj has explained that if this is meant, if it's meant to be just the general meaning, how he can come to me, upayanti, come to me, then this is redundant. Krishna would be making a redundant statement. Why? Because he's already explained in the previous verses the nature of his pure devotees, that their relationship with him is eternal. So therefore, what should be the proper understanding in this expression, mam upayanti te, that they will come to me? Then, that word, upayanti, must be defined as parakiya bhavena upapatti. So upayanti is referring to upapatti. What is upapatti? You know? Upapatti means a paramour lover. A lady's married, but she has another lover. Secretly. That's called upapatti. Patti means husband, and upapatti means another husband that she has that kind of relationship with. And no one knows that. Okay? In the material world, this is a very degraded thing. But we're going to hear from Srila Sridhar Maharaj how he explains that in the spiritual world, it's the highest. And we're really going to learn something today about that point, that philosophical point. Because naturally, Krishna must have the highest of everything. So what is the highest in all relationships? Not married love. Why? Yes, because there's many restrictions, many rules and regulations and all that. You think Krishna is going to be under rules and regulations that he's created? No. Okay, here we go. The word pati in upapatti. The word pati means husband, and upapatti means paramour. Now, Listen carefully. In Vrindavan, Lord Krishna is not considered a lawful husband. Is he? A lawful husband, married under the law in Vrindavan. But in Vrindavan, what is Krishna? He is the Lord of the heart. He is transcendental to even the husband. That means parakya rasa. Parakya. He is transcendental to even the husband. Deceiving their husbands, the gopis of Vrindavan unite with Krishna. That's what they do. That's one of their 11 of the 11 designations that they have. How they deceive their husbands. That's their eternal occupation. To fool and deceive their husbands. So they unite with Krishna, deceiving their husbands. The gopis of Vrindavan unite with Krishna. And they do not allow a second party to come between them and Krishna. They don't allow a second party to come between them and Krishna. They cannot allow the interception of social law. Social laws. Huh? Can the gopis allow that to come between them and Krishna? Yes or no?
Never.
What?
Never.
You're correct. They cannot allow the interception of social law or what? Or even what? Scriptural regulation even. Because why? Because Krishna's position is absolute. That's why. That's why. Because Krishna is absolute. Therefore, there cannot be any relative consideration in that relationship, because he's the absolute, the sweet absolute, as he already told. This is called Vrindavan Bhajan. And this is the meaning of Upapatti. Krishna is telling, my relationship with them is independent of everything conceivable. My relationship is independent. It's not dependent on anything else. It is independent of everything that is even conceivable, including laws, including society, and the scriptures. There's a footnote, but I'm just going to continue. So this relationship, my relationship with them, Krishna is telling, it is most innate and natural. It is most innate and natural. And it does not require any social or any scriptural sanction. Does Krishna have to be sanctioned? No, he doesn't require that. He's the supreme sanctioner. He created all the sanctioning sections of society. So, I say to them, Krishna is saying, I say to them, to my gopis, my devotees in Madhurya Rasa, that you may show formal respect to all these different restrictions. Formally, you may show that. And you may live in the society. But from the heart of your heart, you are mine. Nobody else's. So do we see that in Krishna Lila? Oh, yes. Does Srimati Radharani live in her parents' home after she's married? Huh? Does she still live there in Varshana after she's married? Where does she go? Huh? Oh, whose house does she live in? Her in-laws' house. What are the couple of the names of the in-laws? Jatila and Kutila. And who else? Abhimanyu. Is he around very often? No. So this whole arrangement is made by who? Yoga Maya has created this relationship where there's some outward and apparent what? Obstacles that have to be overcome in order to meet. And what does that do? That just enhances the meeting more and more and more. So, Krishna is telling, okay, gopis, you may show some formal respect to all these different restrictions, and you may live in the society. In Yavat, here, there, with your so-called husbands, blah, blah, blah. But from the heart of your heart, you are mine. Krishna's claiming. This is the special inspiration and the insight that I give to those devotees. Krishna's saying this. This is the special inspiration and insight that I give to those devotees. Buddhi yogam yena mam upayanti te. And it goes further, and it goes deeper than that. He's not just talking about how they can come to me. Yena mam upayanti te. No. So much is going on the deepest levels. Now, externally, there are social and there are scriptural demands. Are there not? Externally? Yes. Social and scriptural demands. But Krishna continues, he says, my position is over and above them. Am I under those social demands? Am I under those scriptural demands? Could Krishna ever be under them? No. No. His position is over and above them. Then he says, Veda is my instruction, the Veda, is my instruction for who? Why have I manifested Veda? It is my instruction for the benefit of the masses of people who have deviated from me, and for society, and then society is also under the jurisdiction of those general instructions given to the people by me. But my divine relationship with everything that exists, my divine relationship is intrinsic and it is independent. It does not require recognition from anyone. It doesn't require that anyone recognize. Such a relationship is the highest. It is the constant. It supersedes all law and society which are guided by the Vedas. But rather, all the Vedas are searching for such a thing. Shrutibir Vimrigyam, 10th canto, 47th chapter. Vishesha Mrigya. What does Vishesha Mrigya mean? It means that the Vedas, they are searching after this ideal divine position. In the section of the Srimad Bhagavatam which deals with Ras Leela, there the Vedas are begging for forgiveness. The Vedas are begging for forgiveness because they're saying that we Vedas, we are generally supposed to give tidings about you, O Krishna. But we could not describe you as we now experience you here. Now we understand that we have committed an offense because we could not distribute this Ras Leela to the world. So, just like you see when you're going on the road, what do you see? You see signposts along the road. So like signposts, all the revealed scriptures, what are they doing? They are only showing the direction. But where and how? We don't know, the Vedas are saying. only he may be available in this direction, or he may be available in that direction. They actually don't know. So anywhere and everywhere, everything belongs to him. So for one who knows this, that anywhere and everywhere everything belongs to him, if a person knows that about Krishna, then all possibilities of sense pleasure and exploitation, they're uprooted. If you know that, right? If a devotee knows that everything belongs to Krishna, everything, anywhere, everywhere. If you actually know this, that everything belongs to Krishna, then what will that do to your possibilities of sense enjoyment, sense pleasure, and exploiting in the material world? It will uproot it. All of those things will be uprooted by simply knowing that Krishna is the owner of everything. Everything belongs to him. Now, for example, an unmarried woman, she may have the possibility of being approached by many. She may be unmarried, right? And then many suitors, they may approach her. They may be attracted. But there is less possibility for those who are married. Correct? Nowadays, they even override that. But nevertheless, in general, in proper Vedic society, there's much less possibility. For one, because they're possessed by someone. They are not independent. They're possessed by someone. So similarly, when we are able to know that everything is only for the satisfaction of Krishna, then we shall realize that all of our exploiting tendencies have vanished forever. Get that? That's the solution to all of our exploiting tendencies, is to know what? Everything is only for the satisfaction of Krishna, not for ours or anyone else's. When we know that, then what happens to us? Our exploiting tendencies, they have vanished forever when we know that. Nothing will remain to be utilized for the pleasure of our sense experience. Nothing. Why? Because it's for Krishna's enjoyment, right? Isn't that what the verse means? Anya bilashita shunyam. What's the rest of it? Jnana karmadya navritam. Yeah, that's what anukulyena Krishna anushilanam means. Everything is for Krishna. Everything is meant to be utilized for Krishna. So when someone understands that actually everything is for Krishna's satisfaction, then how can you stick yourself and your own satisfaction there? It's not possible. If you've actually realized this. But if you haven't actually realized this, then you'll go dilly-dallying within the material world as if this is your place of exploitation for your sense gratification, like every conditioned soul is doing. So, nothing will remain to be utilized for the pleasure of our sense experience. It will be very deeply felt in our hearts, that everything has its existence only for His satisfaction, and there is no room for any other exploitation. That's what will take place. So, we too are included there. We're included. Because we exist. So we too are included there. Our existence is also only for whose satisfaction? Yes, that's all. Our existence is only for Krishna's satisfaction. Everything is meant for His divine Leela, His pastimes. Everything. And there is no possibility for any other's pastimes, only His. So all are included in what? In that one Leela, Krishna's Leela. Everything is Krishna's Leela. And all are included in that one Leela. So encroachment, to encroach, that will disappear. Encroachment will disappear when we learn the proper utility of everything. You don't have to separately try to eliminate it. It will automatically disappear when you know what it's meant to be utilized for. You will not try to encroach and use it for your own sense gratification. He is the owner. So all are included in that one Leela. He is the owner, and his ownership is absolute. He's the owner, and his ownership is partial? Is it only partial? He only owns certain things? No. Absolute. Everything. Beyond our imagination. He is the absolute owner. So the scriptures and the society and the laws of society, what do they designate? They all have to designate, well, this is yours and that is another's, or that belongs to a third party. There has to be such laws, right? In society. This is something like, what? A temporary lease. Does anyone really own anything? No, they're only temporary leasing it. Even our bodies are just temporarily leased. But the permanent ownership is in all respects, it is with him. All others, possessors, and all other property, master and servant, all of these, they are relative. And they are only sanctioned by him for the time being, that's all. Oh, your master, your servant. Only temporarily, your master, your servant. Only temporarily. But he alone is the absolute owner. He is the absolute possessor and enjoyer. So, owner, possessor, and enjoyer. That is him. Complete purification of our hearts. Do you want complete purification of the heart? Would you like to have that? Complete, not partial purification. Complete purification of our hearts. It's possible only when we arrive at such a conclusion. Everyone is thinking of themselves as many masters of many things. But this is all heart disease. Hrid rogam. Hrid roga means the disease of the heart, that I am master. This is all conceived in a diseased state of consciousness. But in a healthy state, when the heart is quite wholesome, then we can see the supreme whole, and we can see that everything is meant only for his satisfaction. So that's the purport for that third shloka. And now comes the final one. This is the one which many people misunderstand. Tesham evanukam partam aham ajnanajam tamaha nashayami atma bhavasto jnana deepena bhashvata. Repeat. Tesham evanukam partam tesham evanukam partam aham ajnanajam tamaha aham ajnanajam tamaha aham ajnanajam tamaha Nashayami. Nashayami. Atma bhavasto. Atma bhavasto. Nashayami atma bhavasto. Nashayami atma bhavasto. Jnana dipena. Jnana dipena. Bhashvata. Bhashvata. Jnana dipena bhashvata. Jnana dipena bhashvata. Tesham evanukam partam. Aham ajnana jam tamaha. Nashayami atma bhavasto. Jnana dipena bhashvata. So Krishna is telling, there's two different translations here. Here's the first one, which is the general. Out of compassion for them, I, situated within the hearts of all living beings, I dispel the darkness of ignorance with the radiance of knowledge. Out of compassion for them, you can repeat, out of compassion for them, I, situated within the hearts of all living beings, dispel the darkness of ignorance with the radiance of knowledge. And then Srila Sridhar Maharaj places the word or in the middle of the page. And here comes the second translation of this verse. He says, being conquered by the love of those devotees who, in their unalloyed loving devotion, they become afflicted by the all-devouring darkness born of their pangs of separation from me, I illuminate their hearts with my presence, destroying the darkness of their pain of separation. Repeat after me. Being conquered by the love of those devotees who, in their unalloyed loving devotion, become afflicted by the all-devouring darkness, born of their pangs of separation from me. I illuminate their hearts with my presence, destroying the darkness of their pain of separation. So there's two types of darkness being told here, yes? But the real meaning is the second one. Commentary. Of the two translations given above, the first is the most general interpretation of this verse. But if we appreciate pure, non-calculative devotion, that's called Gyan Shunya Bhakti, non-calculative devotion. Jnana Shunya means without any philosophical Gyan. Gyan Shunya Bhakti. But if we appreciate pure, non-calculative devotion, then the Lord's statement here, it may again appear to be redundant and inconsistent. If we're considering non-calculative devotion, then this statement of Krishna's is redundant. So how is that? Now he explains. When those high devotees are already admitted to be performing continuous and unadulterated service, when they've already been admitted to be performing continuous and unadulterated service, and even above that, they are situated in the plane of pure love, of spontaneous and automatic ragmarg, then how can it be harmonized? That the Lord will now, in the last stage, destroy their ignorance, their tamaha, born of misunderstanding, agyana jam, by giving them knowledge, gyan. Gyan is only a cover. It is a futile, finite conception of the infinite absolute. Jnana karmadi anavritam bhaktir uttama. It is a covering only. A futile, finite conception of the infinite absolute. So, when these devotees, when they have achieved devotion that is devoid of the covering of knowledge, jnana shunya bhakti, then how will they again have to return to that knowledge, to that jnana? So in his commentary, Srila Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur has mentioned that this knowledge, it is not ordinary, it is extraordinary. It is vilakshanam. Although he did not enter into specific detail, but he mentioned that it is not ordinary, it's extraordinary knowledge. It is vilakshanam. So to clarify this point, we have given the following explanation, and here comes the final section of Srila Sridhar Maharaj's Chatusloki. So he's going to really drive this point home very clearly. What is lamentation and delusion? Lamentation and delusion are generally known to be symptoms of what? The mode of ignorance, tamagun. Lamentation and delusion. They're generally considered to be symptoms of the mode of ignorance. So now, in Jnana Shunya Bhakti, the elevated devotees who take Krishna not as a supreme God, but as friend, as son, as husband, or lover, they will come to experience lamentation and delusion, but this is only an outward appearance of ignorance. In fact, it is the pain of divine separation. They lament, "Where have you gone?" So in this verse, the Lord's statement, Tesham evanukam partam, it generally, that means, fortunately for them, or in favor of them, I dispel their darkness, etc. But it may also be interpreted, I want their favor, Krishna is telling. I want their favor. I aspire for the favor of those devotees of the highest order. Now the Lord also says to the gopis in the Srimad Bhagavatam, you know where? In Kurukshetra. There, Krishna says to the gopis, in a way of consoling them, Mai bhaktir hi bhutanam amritatvaya kalpate dishtya yad asin mat sneho bhavatinam mad apanaha. So Krishna is telling, in general, people with devotion to me, they want this. They want, in general, the people want devotion to me in order to achieve eternal life. Amritatvaya kalpate. And to cross the limit of mortality and to have eternal life, they come to me and they worship me. For these reasons, they want my service. But, O gopis, fortunately for you, O gopis, you have some natural affection towards me. And that will ultimately bring you to me. So now, this is the general meaning. However, in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita, Srila Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami, he has drawn out the inner meaning of what Krishna is saying to the gopis, which is actually just the opposite. So what is Krishna saying actually to the gopis? he is saying, through devotion, everyone wants me to help them to attain the highest position of eternal benefit. Through devotion, everyone wants me to help them attain the highest position of eternal benefit. And if they have a connection with me, then they consider themselves fortunate. But I consider myself fortunate because I have come in touch with the valuable affection that I found in your hearts. So, by my fortune, I have got your association. Therefore, here in Sri Gita, the Lord is saying, Tesham evanukam partam. Being conquered by the love of those unalloyed devotees. When I cannot tolerate their pain of separation, then I at once come running to satisfy them, and I reveal to them with special light, with special consciousness. I have returned to you. See me now. So with powerful brilliance, Jnana Deepena, I show them my presence when they are very much in need of me, and I relieve their pain of separation. So, Atma Bhavasto. He reveals himself according to his devotee's divine relationship with him, with the rasa that the devotee has with him, to a friend as a friend, to a mother as a child, to a wife as a husband, and to the sweethearts as a paramour. Now, after Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left home, here's a really beautiful example to illustrate this and to enable us to understand what Krishna is really telling. So after Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu left home and he accepted the renounced order of life, sannyas, then Mother Sachi could not tolerate the deep separation. And she began to cry. And Sachi Devi was preparing very excellent dishes, offering them to the deity, and she was weeping. Where is my Nimai? He is very fond of these curries, his favorite dishes, and Nimai is not here. Then suddenly, Lord Chaitanya came. Lord Chaitanya came and he began to eat. Then Sachi Devi exclaimed, "Oh, Nimai is eating." And then for the time being, her separation was relieved. Moments later, she reconsidered. Did I see Nimai eating? But he is now a sannyasi in Jagannath Puri, so how could he have come here? Did I serve him? There must be a mistake. And then she examined the pots again to see if there was food there. Then finding them empty, she began to conjecture whether even a dog or some other animal had come and eaten it. But during that moment, Nimai had actually come, and Mother Sachi saw him in broad daylight. That illumination is transcendental and not the knowledge. It is not the gyan that is generally known in our vocabulary. So, the acme of theism. What is the acme? What does that mean in English language? The acme of something. The summit, the highest point, right? So the acme of theism is what? Take a guess after hearing all of these last paragraphs and purports. What is the acme of theism? Any kind of theistic conception, what is the highest point of theism and theistic conception? Parakya ras. Parakya ras is the acme of theism. Parakya means another's. Parakya, that this is another's, belongs to another. So in every divine relationship, the Lord captures all. In every single type of relationship, He captures all. In the whole of Vrindavan, where everyone follows the path of Rag Marg, love, this Parakya Ras, it is infused. It is infused in the whole of Vrindavan. The friends of Krishna sometimes say, oh, some people say that Krishna is a resident of Mathura. They say he's the son of Vasudeva, and he will go soon to Mathura. They say he is not our friend. So amongst the Sakhas, they speak like that. Will we really lose his company? Then how will we be able to live in this jungle and herd the cows? They experience this apprehension. We may lose him at any time. And this intensifies their friendly service to him. And similarly, Mother Yashoda thinks, some are saying that Krishna is not my son. He's Devaki's son. What is this? I won't admit this. He's my child. This idea, it enhances Yashoda's affection for Krishna. I may lose him? Oh, then how shall I live? So therefore, the Parakya Rasa stresses the rarity of Krishna's relationship. Why? Because the possibility of losing his company is always in the background. But the highest intensity of service, it is to be found in the Madhur Rasa, consorthood group. In the other rasas, there is the idea of suspense that he may go away. But in the consorthood relationship, in the divine abode of Vrindavan, the consorts cross the direction of the scriptures and society, which guide everyone to remain as husband and wife, svakya. But parakya, which means another's, it has been accepted in the science of devotion as the highest conception above the socially and scripturally sanctioned svakya, which means one's own. So parakya, or paramour relationship, it nourishes the pastimes of Krishna by doing what? By deceiving one who claims ownership over another, such as a husband over a wife, or a parent over a child. The normally accepted relationship of svakya is commonplace, but to cross the jurisdiction of the scriptures and of society as a paramour, it means a greater risk, as if to commit sin. Thus, this relationship is very rare, and rarity enhances its intensity and its value. So the idea of deceiving the possessor to favor the non-possessor in the spiritual sense is a beautiful, ornamental conception. Actually, in Krishna's case, there cannot be any state of paramourship. Why? Because in truth, he is the owner of everything. However, the divine arrangement is fashioned in this way to enhance the devotee's internal devotion for the Lord. Just as food, it appears more tasteful when hunger is present. Yes? Everyone right now is thinking. So in Vaikuntha, the nature of the worship of Lord Vishnu, what is the nature of that worship of Vishnu in Vaikuntha? It's gorgeous, it's majestic, reverential, awe-inspiring. But above that, in the highest conception, then Godhead is human-like in form and in nature. That's the highest. It is stated in Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita in the teachings to Sanatana Goswami, Krishner Jate Kela Sarvotam Nara Lila Nara Vaputahara Swarup Gopa Vesha Venukara Nava Kishore Natavara Nara Lila Hoy Anurupa Krishnera Madhur Rupa Shuna Sanatan Jay Ruper Ek Kana Dubai Sub Tribhuvana Sarva Prani Kare Akarshan. So Mahaprabhu is telling about Krishna in the beginning of his teachings to Sanatana Goswami, Sanatana Siksha. He's saying that the highest form of Godhead is Krishna, who plays in his eternal divine pastimes like a human being. An ever youthful cowherd boy of Vrindavan, the best of dancers, he enjoys his pastimes always playing his flute. His beauty is so charming and sweet that the whole universe is flooded by even the tiniest atom of it. And all beings are attracted irresistibly to him. He is actually approachable by all. We can find God nearest of all in a human feature. It has been explained how Krishna's form of human feature is the highest form of the Absolute, according to the calculation of what? Rasa, ecstasy, which is the common standard of measurement of the whole scope of the infinite. Can you measure the infinite? No, because he's infinite. But there is a accepted calculation, according to the calculation of rasa, which is the common standard of measurement of the whole scope of the infinite. His human-like feature is the highest. So by the development of Shanta, Dasya, Sakya, Vatsalya, and Madhur, and then Parakya Ras, tranquility, then servitude, friendship, parenthood, consorthood, then paramour relationship, this is scientifically proven without whimsical or blind faith, that if we follow the line of Rupa Nuga Bhajan, the devotion following the line of Srila Rupa Goswami, which originates from Sri Chaitanya Dev, then this scientific basis can be appreciated. The previous acharyas have left comprehensive teachings for us on how to follow, how to conceive, and how to attain all these things. Bhagavan Shri Krishna Chandra ki jai, Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Gita Jayanti ki jai, Arjuna ki jai. He gets a lot of credit too. Samveta Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. So, in this way, Srila Bhakti Rakshak Sridhar Maharaj, I don't think anyone else has given quite such a purports and explanation to the 4 verses of the Bhagavad Gita, the Chatushloki Bhagavad Gita. He has really unearthed everything there. So we are so fortunate. We are so fortunate that we even know of the existence of this Bhagavad Gita. We all know this, that if everyone in the world were to learn the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita, what would happen to the world? planet would become filled with ecstasy. Everyone would become filled with bliss. Why? If they embraced the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita and they understood who Krishna is, they understood that Krishna came here 5,000 years ago, that he performed all of his pastimes here, and he's doing that continually in all the universes. He's going from one universe to another with all of his leelas and all of his associates and all. If we understand who Krishna is, and we understand that we have to surrender to him because we are his what? His servants. Then the whole world would change. The whole world would change. But presently, the whole world does not know of the teachings of the Bhagavad Gita. They do not know that it even exists. In some of our lives, we also had a time when we did not know that these teachings even exist, and that the Vedas exist. And so we had no knowledge. So the Bhagavad Gita is the primary teaching for the whole world. That's why Srila Prabhupada gave Bhagavad Gita and the first canto of Srimad Bhagavatam when he came to the West. He started with that. And by learning that in the association of Srila Prabhupada, even though they didn't have the rest of the Bhagavatam, even though they didn't have even the books like Nectar of Devotion, Teaching of Lord Chaitanya, like that, but they learned how to surrender in the presence of the pure devotee. They followed his instructions, and they became instruments for him to spread his teachings to the entire world. Those early devotees, I love to read their histories and their memories, how they were with Prabhupada in those early period. And they personally assisted Srila Prabhupada. So how were they able to do that? Because they had learned the teachings from the mouth of the pure devotee, Srila Prabhupada, Bhagavad Gita. And if you listen to Srila Prabhupada's lectures, all throughout the 12 years that they were recorded in the Western countries, he'll quote Bhagavad Gita continually. Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavad Gita. So it is the basis of our spiritual understanding, our spiritual life, and we're so happy. We feel ourselves so fortunate and so happy that we have this book on our shelf, in our heart, and some shlokas in our memory banks, and that we can live our life understanding we are doing the absolute correct thing. And if the people of the world will learn this, which they will, that time is coming. It's just around the corner, by the way. That time is just around the corner. Yes, I'm not going to go into the predictions of the astrologers and all of this, but Mahaprabhu's period is just around the corner, and there's going to be huge devastation on this planet to clear up everything and to create an atmosphere so that every human being will be looking for this. They will be searching. They'll be looking for this. They're already starting. I'm seeing it in the general pub. They're already looking. But they're not getting the answers. They're not getting the answers to their questions. Who am I? They don't still even know who they are, that they're not this physical body. But if someone reads Bhagavad Gita, what are they going to learn? They're going to learn that they are not physical elements of this body, but they are what? A conscious, eternal, infinitesimal spark of the Supreme Absolute Conscious Being. And we are indestructible and eternal, can never be killed, can never be harmed by any weapon. But our relationship, this is the important thing. We have a relationship that we have been neglecting and the conditioned souls have forgotten since time immemorial. Now it's time to wake up. And that's why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu called out to all the conditioned souls to do what? Jeev Jago. Everyone say. Jeev Jago. Jeev Jago. Gaura Chanda Bole. Kota Nidra Jao Maya Pisha Chira Kole. How long are you going to go on sleeping in the lap of the witch called Maya? If you know Bhagavad Gita, you can't. You can't go on sleeping. You have to wake up. So we're so fortunate. We're waking up to different degrees. Some of us are still yawning. Maybe I'll go back to sleep a little bit longer. But no. Krishna has made it such, by sending his pure devotees, that you can play as if you're going to go back to sleep, but you can never go back to sleep, because once you know this, you can never go back to sleep. So now, you're going to have to surrender. You're going to have to surrender everything, your mind, your body, your words, all of your everything you're going to have to surrender to me. And if you do that, what's going to happen? You're going to become very happy. You're going to become a happy jiva. So on this Gita Jayanti day, we made some tiny little effort, although a bigger effort and much more time is required to actually chant the whole Bhagavad Gita. We've done that before. We like to do that also, but we don't have the time to do that, at least not in this class. So, but we can, on our own, we should read Bhagavad Gita. Every year on this Gita Jayanti day, this marks the beginning of your new revived study of the Bhagavad Gita. And do it according to your own way. Everyone has their own way, But do it, because that will imprint. Because on this auspicious day, we are receiving the blessings from Krishna himself, from Bhagavad Gita, from all the pure devotees, that now we should embrace these teachings more deeply. We may have embraced, but we still have to do it more deeply. And we have to let go of, we embrace the teachings, but we let go of what? Our independence. All right, so Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol, Srimad Bhagavad Gita Ki Jai, the hidden treasure of the sweet absolute Bhagavad Gita Ki Jai, Bhagavad Gita as it is Ki Jai, Nitai Gaur Premanande. You can do. Just Mahamantra. You want to do?
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva, Jaya Guru Deva.
Jaya Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Guru Deva, Guru Deva.
Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada.
Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Jaya Prabhupada.
Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Nitai Gaura, Hari Bol.
Jai Gaura Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. Nitai Gaur Premanande, Hari Hari Bol. Om Brindai Tulsidebai Priyai Keshavasya Cha Krishna Bhakti Prade Devi Satyavachai Namo Namaha Vancha Kalpatarubhascha Kripa Sindhubheva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namah Shri Shri Guru Gauranga Gandharvika Giridhari Radha Govinda Radha Vinod Bihari Jiu Ki Jai Gaur Premanande